let's see. There we go. Okay, looks like we're now streaming. One moment. I've just realized I need to tell the people on Discord that I'm streaming. Okay. And silence that. Alright. Okay. Nobody here just yet, but may as well just start talking to y'all. No. Okay. I'm going to come out and say right off the bat, I know this sucks. This is not good. I'm effectively having to relearn React. This is me building the channel website here. And so you can see here I've got the blog, which currently just consists of a couple of buttons, which you click on them and they bring up modals. And yeah, obviously you can see I don't even have it linking to the proper icons there. And I'm going to end up adding comments and stuff like that when the time comes, but this stuff still works. Then we go to videos, and this is actually the part that has the most done on it. It still definitely needs work, and part of this is that it's going to have to be behind a paywall. And the reason for that is that literally every month I'm paying to store these videos and the images for the thumbnails on an Amazon web server. So if people end up deciding to do some sort of DDoS attack against my site for whatever reason, I don't really know why they would. But regardless, it will protect me from that sort of a thing. So what I'll end up doing is basically if you're like a channel member and you contact me, then I'll end up giving you credentials. If you're a patron and you contact me, well, I already have your information, so I'll give you credentials. And then I'm effectively going to actually have a login sign up sort of a thing here on the website itself, which honestly would be my goal. My goal long term would be to have people just sign up directly on this site rather than having to work through multiple additional services, but whatever ends up working. And I still have a lot of videos that I actually need to add to my Amazon server. This just goes back as far as October of 21. That's the Lexington video right there. And Salem, I think, was actually October 31st because I wanted to have that out for Halloween. But yeah, so this stuff actually does work, and I can click on, let's say, the Boston Mayoral Shelter. It opens up, and I can actually play the video
on the outskirts
here.
of Natick, Massachusetts, a small concrete structure.
There you go. Now, again, this was working earlier. I'm not sure what I broke about that, but like and dislike, and the reason it looks like that is because dislike is literally just the like image flipped over. And I still need to add a bunch of functionality to stuff like this, to where like you click over here and it closes this thing out rather than just closing the modal. Along with that, again, comments. And I'm gonna have to set up things for like people to have accounts. Also, it's currently loading old images. I've already replaced these with newer ones with a newer style of how I do the Starfield thumbnails. And along with that, I'm constantly revising this thing, and that's one of the things that's slowing me down, is that this is definitely not how this was originally set up. It was originally set up to where it was split between Fallout and Starfield, and I was like, that's not really, because if I start making videos on a bunch of different games, I don't want to have a different tab for every single one. So what I'm going to end up doing is having a like subheader sort of a thing down here that'll have the ability to sort the videos. So to be able to say like Fallout, and then Fallout 4, and then if you want to see something about factions, it'll bring up videos on like the Gunners and Brother to Steel, all that kind of stuff whenever you bring it in. I've been working with Microsoft's Copilot while doing this with VS Code, and it is startlingly good at times. It will actually predict things like that. And I assume this is because it has access to like internet and all that, because like I was typing in, because I had to actually enter all these things. A bunch of this was just data entry to get all this stuff, so it could pull these things up. And eventually that's going to be stored in a database, but currently it's just part of the website itself. But regardless, when I would type in things like Fallout New Vegas lore, it would automatically populate things like what happened to the followers of the apocalypse, a video I haven't even made yet. It's like a video that I will eventually make someday, but that thing is actually like scarily good at predicting things that you might end up typing. So looking forward to working with that more. Again, this is the most bare bones version of the site. Again, it's not even launched on the internet yet, but this is probably something about what the video page is going to end up looking like. I don't know if I'm going to do it like specifically exactly like this, or if I'm going to do it to where it like loads 15 at a time and you click a button and it loads more, or even have it set up to where it's like you can load 15 or you can load 30 at a time and then flip through pages of the videos or something like that. I'll figure it out. And I've definitely figured out like one of my little minor complaints with YouTube has always been like, oh, why won't they just let me upload a PNG of the image for a thumbnail? And then when I realized that a JPEG is like 1/10 the size of a PNG, and I start considering the cost of loading things in from cloud storage and stuff like that, and it's like, no way am I storing PNGs on this thing. I even had a PNG of a thumbnail and I removed it and replaced it with a JPEG. I get it now. Happy Friday to you too. Lot of mercy. Good to see you. So basically, this is the way I wanted to start this out, was just talking a little bit about the site. Again, this is the most detailed part so far, but the one that's closest to like the final functionality is probably the blog section, in which case I'll still start adding things like dates and stuff like that to these things, but you'll be able to just scroll through and like the oldest stuff will be down at the bottom, newest stuff at the top. Maps don't have anything. That just goes directly to the blog page right now. Same thing with data. I need to figure out exactly how to host that stuff properly, because I could obviously just upload images of maps, but I want it to be something where you can zoom in on these things and stuff like that, without it just being like you zooming, like scrolling on the page. I want it to be an actual functionality there. About page is there as well, but again, this is also not fully set up. All this does right now is basically gives you my email address that you can, but it'll like open up Microsoft Outlook or something like that. What it'll eventually do once I get this set up on the back end is that I'll have an email functionality set up on the page so you can email me directly. I also need to work on the ticker. And none of the aesthetics of this are where they're going to be in the long run. Basically, the way the ticker works right now, it's fine, but I also don't like the fact that there's a massive gap after the last one before the first one comes around again. And beyond that, you can't tell this because it's not obvious, but this is actually semi-transparent, the background of this thing. I need to set it up somehow to where it's like there's like multiple layers of it, and so like it kind of glows a little bit more towards the center and is a little bit more faded towards the outside. And the thing that annoys me the most about all this is that this circular icon here is not in the middle of this whole thing here. And I also have to make this whole thing work for mobile, which it is not currently set up for mobile. And to show you exactly how that works, we can go to the inspector here. By the way, you all have access to this if you have Chrome or Firefox. In fact, Firefox actually has some pretty good functionality to this stuff. But you can go into Elements and you can see the structure of the page. And along with that, you can go to look at what it looks like in mobile view, and oof, that is an ugly page in mobile view. I will absolutely not have this thing set up like this long term. So just know that I'm working on this. So, okay. So with all that said, I'm going to end up doing the next video on Starfield. Like I said before, it's going to be a quick video. It's going to be specifically a follow-up to this video right here, Lost in Time, an addendum video basically talking about like what happens when you enter the ship while you're a Starborn. What happens when you enter the ship when you're wearing the what's it called, tardigrade costume. The way that they react to you differently and stuff like that, which the tardigrade one is very, very minor. It's like literally a single sentence and then it's just gone. And again, I still need to investigate the full Starborn options. There's really only like, I've only seen the one at the very beginning so far, but I need to go through the entire quest and see where they come up later, because there are entire quest chains that I've covered in things like Stories from Cydonia, where there are entire quest chains with Starborn options in them. So I definitely want to cover that as well. Okay, so with that said, the next lore video after that will be on something Novak in Fallout New Vegas. So expect that. Hi, Night Spirit. Good to see you. And then after that, like I was saying last week, I need to investigate Mass Fusion. I need to investigate the site with the Gunners in Nuka World. And once I've investigated those, if I've determined that they need their own sites first, their own videos first, I'll make those videos. And then I will move on to the Gunners in total. And then I'll move on to Covenant, as requested like a year ago at this point. And then in 76, I'm going to be working on the Atlantic City surveil videos. I need to make sure I get those out. So I'm going to be working on those as well. I hope you all have been having a good week and all that. So before we move on from this, are there any questions, any suggestions, stuff like that? Because I figured I don't have any videos to talk about at the moment because I've literally been trying to like relearn React, which is what this thing was built in. And I've been working on trying to get this thing set up. So yeah, Covenant is a really interesting location. I'm definitely looking forward to covering that more because it's one of those things where it's like I've learned so much about these sites just by covering them in depth to where it's like you walk through these things, even if you play through them 2 or 3 times and you kind of get into a pattern of your activities in these places, if you don't dig deep into them, there's stuff you're going to miss. So you can actually see here some of the old styles of thumbnail that I was doing for Starfield, including this one, which had people constantly complaining that well, not constantly, but I got more than one person saying that the red bar, part of the Starfield like scheme here, made it look like they'd already watched the video. So that's why I ended up changing it to this. But let's see. With if there's nothing else, and again, if I have nothing to talk about in terms of the videos, I figured that I could just play Helldivers 2 with y'all for a session or two, and then we call it quits. We talk during the time and all that, because I've been wanting to play that some more. So, but anybody have any comments or questions or anything? All right, I'll go ahead and open that up. We'll see if it launches properly. I have noticed with this that I have to launch it twice in order to get the game to actually launch properly. I think it's the anti-cheat software, which pulls up a thing about from like Zendesk or something like that. Yep, there you go. Should work the second time. I don't know if any of y'all have been playing it, but it is a lot of fun. I've gotten in a few sessions and fought both the bugs and the automatons. And the automatons are far scarier to me than the bugs. There are generally more bugs, but the automatons shoot at you, and the bugs will only spit at you. Wondering if this is actually launched yet or not. Looks like it. So yeah, these links down here work. They go to these specific sites. I had to go in and get new SVGs because when I was working on this website a while back, I had the original version of the Twitter logo, which no longer uses. And I had the original version of the, well, not original version, but like the second or third version of the Patreon logo, and that one's no longer the same one either. Actually, you know what? Before we do this real quick, because I do want to do a little bit of that, but there's one other thing I do want to do that's actually Fallout related, which is we can talk about the TV show trailer. So why don't we go ahead and review that real quick. So I'm going to turn it down because there's, I mean, I'm not doing this thing monetized, so it doesn't matter.
I'm here to show you a wonderful place. A veritable Camelot of the nuclear age. Not made by God Almighty, but the working man.
That bobblehead, I mean.
You can be a hero by purchasing a residence in a Vault-Tec vault today. Because if the worst should happen tomorrow, the world is going to need you to build a better day after.
So let's just start off with what we've seen so far. It's all idyllic. I think all the sets look amazing. Like, this is exactly what I would want to see in a live in the live version of a Fallout show. Everything looks like, again, it looks like it's like they've actually taken the game and made a real version of it in order to do it. I have seen some people complaining that it's like the Fallout 4 version of things, where like there's definitely a difference in the aesthetic between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. And Fallout 3 and New Vegas have the same aesthetic, obviously. And I think part of this whole thing is that there's such a general antipathy towards Fallout 4 within the Fallout New Vegas community that I think that they generally just don't like it. And I can kind of get that because the Fallout 3 in New Vegas feels closer to the originals, Fallout 1 and 2. But that being said, I think that this still looks amazing, you know, and it's one of those things where it's like if you were trying to create a Fallout television show based on nothing but Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, this is the sort of thing you'd be looking for as well. So let's then jump ahead here. So Santa Monica Pier, I assume right there. I've been there once. My wife and I were down on the beach. We actually were just engaged at that point, but nearly got robbed. Guy walking around in a hoodie decided to go sit down next to our belongings, and that's what we were like, you know, it's the middle of July. I don't think anyone really needs to be wearing a hoodie right now. So we went back up, and he walked off as soon as we started getting out of the ocean. So this is showing right here Shady Sands. Now this right here is basically the first indication we have of something NCR related. Obviously, Shady Sands having been the capital of the NCR. And I say having been because this looks to me to be quite desolate. And also, it's not quite right looking in my appearance. Yeah, I'm very happy I was not robbed as well. Because, I don't know, in playing Fallout 1, Shady Sands was in the middle of a desert. There were no tall buildings anywhere behind it. So that is slightly concerning to me. But at the same time, again, generally speaking, it looks pretty good. And also, this does seem to imply that the NCR has kind of fallen to an extent. There is an NCR flag later in this. We'll talk about that more when we get to it. But the fact that everything is so desolate, everything's so dirty, there's trash all over the place and all that kind of stuff, seems to imply to me that the NCR is not doing well at the very least.
The mission of the vault.
So this is like a 76 style door. There have been a few other games that have had this style door in them. This is definitely not the style of Fallout 3 in New Vegas, though.
Everyone. To come up to the.
This is an interesting image. I assume that this boat was either pushed inland by like a tsunami from the bombs, or the ocean's shallower. There are a few images here where I think that they actually filmed these things on site in some places in the world. Like, I don't think this is where this was filmed, but this reminds me of the Skeleton Coast of Namibia, where there's a huge number of shipwrecks, and they do look a lot like this. I've also seen something like this down in Chile and the Atacama Desert, if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm probably not.
The surface one day and restart civilization. Can you tell me what's happened in the last 200 years?
You're an actual vault dweller.
I am.
I thought all you were dead. Barb, get in here. You gotta see this.
So, and I'll just say real quick, in going into this, that again, while I think this looks really good, I am slightly concerned about how much Vault Dweller and Brother to Steel there is in this. And it kind of feels to me like they're going for the iconic images of the Fallout series without potentially it connecting with the lore. Because, again, people in vault suits, very iconic. People in Brother to Steel power armor, all that's very iconic Fallout. But, and again, we'll see exactly what happens with the story. But it really, like, by 200 years after the war, there aren't that many people in vault suits left. Especially on the West Coast, with the NCR having been as big a presence as it was, or maybe still is. We'll look into that. We'll see exactly what happened with the NCR since the end of Fallout New Vegas. Because if you're unaware, this is post Fallout 4, actually, in terms of the timeline. So we'll see exactly what's going on there. But it does concern me slightly that they might be focusing on the iconic parts of the Fallout universe rather than what would logically be taking place in the Fallout timeline. That's all. And again, I might be happy with what they end up having as the reasons for these things being the strong focus of it. But
What you're doing isn't.
this right here, I think this is a real site. And At the very least, it reminds me of a road. I think it's in Poland or East Germany, where there's a bunch of old cars actually just parked on this road. It's almost like a traffic jam in the forest, but it's basically just like a junkyard that looks kind of like that. And I don't know if that's where they ended up filming this, but it's also interesting how different that environment looks compared to the previous ones. Like when they were around the Santa Monica Pier area and all that, it's all desertous. What they were shown with Shady Sands was fairly desertous, a little bit temperate, but that is almost like a rainforest sort of a situation. Not tropical, but temperate rainforest.
It isn't like the vault out there. It's big.
So yeah, I guess this is supposed to be more of where that's located. So we're looking more up in the mountains above Los Angeles there. So
I've had a rough week.
hold up, what is that bottle? I've seen that multiple times. I've not actually checked what that is. Vault-Tec Plan Econo Savings Pack. I wonder if that's supposed to be. No, it says it looks like it's poison. I was maybe thinking that it would be Radaway or Rad-X, more like Rad-X because it's in a bottle like that.
Practically every person I've met up here has tried to kill me.
I'm simply going to harvest your organs.
This is very Fallout right here.
To go home. You come from a world of rules, of laws. You should not be alone.
So, I will say what my current interpretation is of this coming up right here with the Brotherhood of Steel and the and this. So this to me, I could be absolutely 100% wrong in my interpretation of this, but I think what's happening here is that the East Coast Brotherhood is coming west to reinforce the West Coast Brotherhood. Again, I could be 100% off, but that to me would explain where they get a ship like this. And it would also explain like these guys on the West Coast maybe not being in as good of a condition as the folks on the East Coast, and so they're just kind of coming out kind of odd at the sudden arrival of their brethren from across the country. All of them coming in with all these vertibirds and stuff like that.
Why did you join the Brotherhood?
To hurt the people who hurt me.
So I've been seeing people talking about this. This I'm not a fan of. I will say that.
People who hurt me.
The whole opening faceplate thing. It feels like something made for television, to where you like have to see the actor's face. I would prefer it to be something where it's more like it was designed to be, which is kind of a walking tank sort of a situation where you're trying to literally keep out everything, bullets, gases, radiation, and the fewer seams you have, the better. It would be much better if he would have to simply take his helmet off if you were to have a conversation, or just speak through the speaker here. So I'll say I don't like that, but I understand why they did it for television, but it doesn't mean that I like it. And I will say it also looks cool, but I think it's a little too Iron Man. Not, hey Gary Watkins, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Not Fallout. So it looks like we got a Slocum's Joe right here potentially, although that would be the first one we've seen on the West Coast, because that's a Boston brand that we've seen in Appalachia, but not yet in California. So I'm wondering if this is, let back this up slightly, because yeah, that could be dog meat. That'd be interesting if that was dog meat.
They're going to come after you.
Ain't much stage cleanup here, Volty. Well, now that is a very small drop in a very, very large bucket of drugs.
I love that line. That is actually that's a very Fallout line right there, and I do really like this character as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. I do know, like, it was pretty obvious from the original trailer that this is the guy who's riding his horse towards the nuclear explosions in Los Angeles. You see a little bit more of that. My understanding is he's like an actor, or was an actor before the bombs, and basically just kept up with a cowboy persona after the bombs as well. So that's the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles right there. Oh, and this is definitely something connected to the earlier teaser that came out 3 months ago, where you can see that there's a fight going on. Yeah, Walton Goggins is excellent. But you can see that there's a fight going on near that cornfield. Why don't we... Let me see if I can pull up that video as well, just so we can take a look at that, because I definitely think that there's a direct connection between that and this. So let me find that right here. Okay, let me bring that over. Okay, bringing this up. So if we go...
Willing to do what it takes.
It's when the music's going. Yeah, there he's riding towards the... Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay. We also see her later in the video as well, I believe. You can see she's got something stuck in her eye right here. We'll see that again later. There's the exact same shot of that. But there was another shot... Where is it? Within the vault, where they're clearly instigating the fight. Where? There it is. Okay.
Lovely day. A bright new sun will
there we go.
Break through.
That seems to me to be the opening of the fight. Like, maybe not the exact opening, but like right after the opening of the fight. I don't know what instigates the fight, but then we see later into the fight, I don't know if like there's some sort of invasion of the vault. This, by the way, is disgusting with all the fingers. There we go. Which, by the way, I love the music in both this and the other trailer. But, okay. Back to this one, though. Again, this seems to me to be after that fight that took place.
Look out at this wasteland.
This is, I'm not sure who this is supposed to be, but this is clearly some additional force here that's not related to Vault-Tec or to the Brotherhood of Steel. It'll be interesting to see who these people are. They're not wearing anything that looks NCR related, so I don't know who they're supposed to be, but it'll be interesting to find out. And this looks like yet another force, but that may be NCR, because like this stuff looks a little bit more like NCR stuff. Not really, but more so than this stuff right here. So then if we go back out here.
Looks like tape.
So here we go. Brotherhood of Steel versus NCR. And looking at this at a slower pace, this looks a little bit better to me for the NCR, because when I was looking at this originally, I was watching it on my phone, and the NCR definitely did not look like they were wearing uniforms, which I was not a fan of, because it seemed like it was just NCR civilians waving the NCR flag and charging in, but this looks more like it is an actual armed conflict between the Brotherhood and the armed NCR forces. So there you go again. Yao Guai. I do like that he's just shooting at the power armor and just bouncing off. There's that Gulper.
What is happening here?
In it's been potentially dog meat back over here. There.
What is happening here?
Okay. I've seen some... That is interesting. I never noticed that's glowing in there. So I've heard some people suggesting potentially, like, what if he's turning himself into a sentient super mutineer because he injects this thing into himself? I don't know what that's supposed to be. There he's drinking some drugs.
Everyone wants to save the world. They just...
Well, the interesting thing... Yeah, it could be a drug experiment on the Vault Dwellers, but the interesting thing about that is that this guy... Where did it go again? Okay, well, first of all, this is that woman who was firing that machine gun in the last video. She's had that thing stuck in her eye. Now she's got an eye patch. So clearly the Vault survives that fight, at least in the intro, like for a short term at the very least, so they can get some first aid. She's got an eye patch there. But going back to... Here we go.
Happening here.
So this guy right here, I don't know this actor's name. I'm a fan of the performances I've seen him in. Most recently, I think I saw him in a show called Evil, where he plays like a demon or something like that. But he's also definitely the same guy who is talking to her out in the wild. Is there... Well, it's definitely in the other video. Let's pull that one back up. So let's open this up again. Where was that? Here we go. This is definitely him right here. So it's one of those things where it's like, is this before she leaves, or did she meet him out there and bring him back? It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, Fallout is... They're definitely being serious when they use the ink spots. Here we go. Back to this, though. So the Super Duper Mart, I remember seeing this set. People found it in the wild. Pretty interesting to see it actually here, where you can see they've put in this backdrop and all that.
Everyone wants to save the world.
Gotta wonder what crater this is. If this is supposed to be Los Angeles. That's supposed to be the glow or something.
Disagree on how.
There you are, you little killer.
I'm wondering if this is something later. Okay, hold up. Let's compare the outfit she's got here. She's still wearing the vault suit. She's got the undershirt, clearly an arm bandage, and then she's got some sort of leather armor or something like that. Is that bound to a parcel or something like that? No, it looks like she's got a holster. But I was looking more so at the part where she goes into the hospital or the clinic or whatever it is that happens when she's about to have her organs harvested. I think that's in here.
I've had a rough week. Practically every person I've met up here has tried to kill me.
I'm simply going to
Good to see you back, Night Spearhead. Okay, so... yeah, she doesn't have the leather thing yet. So, unless that's something she finds here in this clinic or hospital, then that's got to be sometime later. So those scenes don't seem to me to probably be connected. Good to see she's got a Pip-Boy. That's excellent. She's got basically a jumpsuit and a little bit of leather armor attached to it. So that looks like what's going on there. All right, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what they do. So basically, it's looking like we're potentially going to be getting a canonical outcome to both Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4. And New Vegas, my guess would be, based on the things we've seen here, is that the NCR failed. Now, whether or not that means the Legion succeeded, or House, or maybe if the Strip went independent, we don't really seem to have any information based on what we've seen here. But the fact that Shady Sands seems to be abandoned is not a good sign for the NCR, given that this is their capital. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on with that. But beyond that, the whole fact that the Angel's Boneyard is supposed to also be part of the NCR, when you go to the fact that the NCR's currency was printed in Angel's Boneyard, it's not looking good for the NCR. Now, they're definitely still a faction, as you can see, where they're doing their fighting against the Brotherhood of Steel. Is it? Okay, where is it? There it is. But they're definitely not doing as well as they were back at the time of Fallout New Vegas. Now, I have seen people point out it's not like the NCR was doing great at the time of New Vegas regardless. I mean, you read up on the things that were going on in the world at the time, and there was a lot of land that was being basically bought up by Brahmin barons. The Chief Hanlon, the head of the Rangers, was basically talking about how they drained all the lakes back in the NCR, which is why they needed the Hoover Dam. So it could well be that the NCR was just not doing well. Was basically teetering on the brink, and then something happened in New Vegas. It could even be the case that they won, but the instability was such that the NCR then just kind of collapsed back towards their homeland in California. So, and who knows, maybe there's something else going on. Maybe it's just the arrival of the Brotherhood from the East Coast, which again seems to give us some sort of canonical background, canonical ending to Fallout 4. If, again, and I've seen people say that this is not the Prydwen, but I don't know how they could have built another ship like the Prydwen, given that the Prydwen is supposed to have been built out of parts of the Enclave's crawler base at Andrews Air Force Base. If I can find that little scene again. Let's see. You know what I'm talking about. I'll find it if I can here, but the airship that they built on the East Coast was pretty much a one-of-a-kind sort of a situation, at least as far as we know. Oh yeah, and I'm absolutely excited to see this thing come. I'm also just apprehensive that when you consider the other shows that they've screwed up so badly, especially things like Halo, that, like, Halo was really like one of the first science fiction franchises that I loved growing up, because I played Halo for the first time when I was 11 years old, and like I fell in love with that world, and what they've done to it with their television series is unforgivable. And the fact that the showrunners specifically said that they did not play the games. It's like, how do you make a show set in a video game world without having played any of the games? How does that make any sense to you? So I am just concerned that with the track record of Amazon, and with the track record of adapting shows, what happened to The Witcher over time, what happened to Halo, what happened with Rings of Power, I'm just concerned that they're going to screw something up badly. Now, I am absolutely hopeful that we get something great, and all the visuals that I've seen so far have been excellent. And so I am very hopeful that they do something right here. The costume design's great. The props department's doing great work. The creatures all look correct. It's just, will they produce a story that actually works in the Fallout universe? Will they ignore things in order to make the story work? Stuff like that. I'm concerned about that sort of thing. So, again, hopeful, but cautious. Cautiously hopeful. Yeah, it's always one of those things where generally an IP set in a medium is the best. Like the original medium is usually the best setting for that IP. So it's one of those things where it's like you adapt a book into a movie. You can make a good movie of a book, but in my view, at the very least, it's never going to be as good as a book. And it's probably going to be the same thing here with this, where like they can do an amazing job, but it's not going to be the same thing as actually playing a Fallout game, which is always going to be better. But we can hope that they don't screw it up too badly. So again, it all looks great. We'll just see when the time comes whether or not they really do a good job here or not. So so I'll close that out. All right, so I'm going to just play a quick game of Helldivers. If anybody's interested in watching some of that gameplay and seeing what that's like, again, probably I'm going to have to restart the game again because I'm now starting it up for the first time again, which I don't know if everybody else has this issue, but I have discovered that whenever I launch this game for the first time, after like having closed it, it automatically is going to end up not working. But then the second time, good to go. So I've been spending a little bit of time today trying to go back through and answer people's questions in the comment section. If you do post a comment on videos and I don't respond to it, it's most of the time it's honestly just because I don't see them. The other reason I don't respond to it is if I don't understand it, or if it's a really weird comment, like the guy that responded to my Searchlight video with the comment of "I pet animals." I don't know how to respond to that. So this is my ship, the Harbinger of Liberty. You can name your ship from a preset list. If the sound is too loud, let me know and I'll turn it down. I'm probably going to turn it down actually just a little bit here because it seems like it would be slightly too loud. So let's go to the audio and bring the master volume down to like 7. Okay. Now hopefully we won't end up with the music is a little bit okay. Well, hopefully, wait. Okay. I thought I did all this. Is it good to go now? Can I just close it? I think that's good to go. Okay. So real quick tour of the ship here. It's very simple. You got
aboard, Helldiver. Now
a little door over here where people, if they're going to play with you, they'll come in through that. Coming up here, you've got a couple of officers on your ship that you can talk to.
Proud to serve by your side, sir.
Again, did I actually end up turning that down or not? Because it didn't seem like it. No, I did not. I like how you can turn it up to 11. That's great. Okay, apply. There we go. All right. So this is your Helldiver. You can set your armor. It's not actually just cosmetic, although there are a lot of different cosmetic options. Ship management. This is where you set up your destroyer's name if you want to change that. Interesting. You can have a faction. I wonder if that's going to be something that changes long term. Stratagems. This is different things you can call down from your destroyer during combat. So you start off with like heavy weapons, orbital cannons, And that includes orbital lasers as well. Hangar, you can bring down a fighter that'll do fighter like strafing, drop bombs, all that kind of stuff. Okay, it's a clan system. Okay, I've not experienced that yet. And then, oh yeah, from the bridge, I guess you can bring down turrets and stuff like that. Engineering Bay also has turrets as well. I think no, minefields, that's right. And also different equipment you can put on your back. And then the robotics workshop has more turrets. So, oh, Patriot exosuit. Oh, I have to be 25 for that? You have to get to level 25 to get that. This was just unlocked with the most recent event where the automatons took the planet of Tien Quan or something like that. Okay, then you can go to the ship modules, and this is how you add just like basic little additions to your equipment. Like you can make it so that the plane that's supposed to come down and assist you, cooldown reduced by 50%, rearm time is down by 50%, stuff like that. All that stuff is good. And there's a whole bunch of this stuff to, again, make it so you can get these turrets faster, stuff like that. Requisitions, you can go in and you get medals for completing your work in game, and you can use that to buy equipment. Now, along with that, there is the ability to spend real money. In the superstore, technically this isn't where you're spending real money, but this is where you're spending super credits, which you can either buy or you can get them. Each one of these levels of this has super credits, and I always buy those because they have interesting looking stuff. And I might actually end up buying some real stuff from them just because I've really been enjoying this when I've gotten some time to play it. So then we can go over here. This is your armory. So you can set up your primary weapon. I'm usually using the marksman rifle, just because it's more accurate, but the assault rifle is a lot of fun. I've not used either the submachine gun or the shotgun yet. I constantly am using this little submachine gun, the handheld one. It's great. They're very fast that it goes through the bullets, but that's really useful. Grenades, frag grenade, and high explosive. High explosive, I think, is the one that's necessary for actually damaging structures, so I typically keep that with me. Okay, and then armory, you can set your armor, helmet, and cape. Your character, you can set body type, voice, the emote that you do when you interact with people, victory pose, all that kind of stuff. Boosters, again, this is something you unlock back at that last terminal. And then with your career here, it'll just, it's interesting. Okay, I've killed 4,070 enemies, I guess. And I have definitely used stratagems and have fired shots, so I'm not sure why most of those are blank. Anyway, though. With all that, we go to the bridge and to the Galactic War Terminal. So there's Earth, and it looks like the Orion sector is currently being invaded by bugs. So let's go see if we can help out with that. Angel's Venture, the planet, is being attacked. So now we're going to jump to that, and you can set your difficulty level. So you start off with trivial, I believe, then you go up to easy, medium, challenging, hard, extreme, suicide mission, impossible, hell dive. I have only done up to hard, I think. I think challenging is kind of the most fun. So why don't we go ahead. Let's see if there's anybody who needs some help first. Destroy terminate structures. We'll see if this works or not. There are so many people playing right now that typically what happens is you find a mission, you click on it to say, yes, let me join this, and then it's too late because the thing's already been filled up with 3 other people. Teams of 4 at any one point in time. See? Right there. So generally, I try this a couple times, and then I go ahead and make my own, because otherwise it's just not going to work. So that little raise in the music just now, was that too loud? Yep. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and start a new one. So here we go.
The operation proceeds smooth.
Emergency evacuation or eradicate the terminid swarm.
FTL jump to the Angel's Venture system.
Okay. So I don't need to turn that down anymore. I love how epic the music in this is. So let's go ahead and drop.
Locked.
This is a tiny little spot you're dropping into. Let's go ahead and get Eagle. Nope. Yep. Wanted to change that. Okay. Airburst strike. precision stats, not do... Actually, precision strike's probably better for this. And then expendable anti-tank weapons, and let's do it. Oh, and I need to do Hellpod space optimization, which gives me full grenades whenever I drop.
Launch initiated.
Otherwise, you're carrying like 2 or 3. How epic is this music, right? As you get closer to the ground, you can maneuver. That's typically pretty useful if you've got a lot of enemies coming in that you can just drop directly on top of a big one. If you can aim properly. Alright, let's get some supplies for when we need them. Looks like a couple of bug holes have opened, so let's actually see if we can't close those up. Obviously, that's not actually going to close them. Oh. Oh. Oh, jeez.
Mag's empty. Mag's empty.
Oh, jeez, gotta actually reload. The great thing is you can blow limbs off these things, and they'll still like hobble at you on like the last limbs they have. Oh, ah, dang! It killed me before the booster could take effect. Ah, slightly off being able to drop on that thing.
Ready to liberate.
So yeah, you die, you drop back in. Oh, gotta get out of the path of that. Challenging is kind of hell, doing it individually on this level specifically, so I'm not sure why I did. This is a lot more fun when you're with people. And we can hope that other people do join, but for the moment it's just me. Okay, I need to get a heavy weapon in here. Let's do...
Deploying support weapon. Mag's empty. Say hello to democracy.
Got the... Oh, jeez Louise. Reload, come on. So if I can get back in there quickly. There we go. Alright, let's see about... oh, airburst strike's about to be up, but let's do another Eagle airstrike. Gotta hope they move towards that. Because it is not gonna hit anything. No! I think I got one, maybe. Ah, hell. I just saw one spitting orange stuff in the sky, which... Oh, uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay, good. There are some occasional bugs, and that was one of them right there. Not the bugs that are shooting or trying to kill me, but... There we go. Got it. Starting to run low on ammo. Luckily, I already called some down earlier.
Last reload.
Now, unfortunately, when you reload, if you had any bullets remaining in that last clip, come on, reload. There we go. Oh, jeez, one of those. Then those bullets are just gone. Okay, I'm gonna definitely. Whoa. Oh, and I'm out of. Okay, yeah, that was. That was not gonna go. Oh my gosh. I gotta kill 275? I thought it was normally 150. Did I choose a higher level difficulty than I thought I did?
Reporting to the front.
Oh lord. This is not gonna go well. Oh god. I am screwed, I can tell you that right now. Okay. Oh, Lord. I mean, you can play it single player. I have completed a couple of missions single, it is not easy when you're doing it on the higher level difficulties. Oh god, especially when you get giant ones like that coming right after you. I have got to call down. There we go. Okay, got some of them.
Freedom never sleeps!
Oh, we're just under a third of the way. Oh god, it's that guy again. The good thing is that their giant size makes them not that mobile. Okay. Stim. Oh lord. But to tell you the truth, I have had almost only good experiences playing with other people. Typically, the only bad stuff happens when you get people that have their mics open constantly, because you immediately, when you get the game, you can set it to push to talk. Oh my gosh. But there are so many people that don't, and it's just music. Yeah, it's just basically Liberty Prime quotes the game. Oh lord. Oh my gosh. Okay, stemmed up, now run! I need to go pick up some supplies. Those little ones can move faster than you, and that's the problem. Oh man, I need a stem now. Luckily I'm not bleeding out. Oh god. Okay. I'm probably not going to finish this one. I probably picked the wrong one to stream.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
This would have worked if I could have gotten some, oh god, some other people. Goodness Louise. The problem is some of the spitting that they do will slow you down. Oh, I already have the supplies again. Stupid me going back to go pick up some supplies. Okay. Airstrike. Oh no. No! The airstrike thing got stuck on that one back there that followed me. Stim, stim, stim. Come on, stim. Ah! Oh. That is definitely something that annoys me. I press the stim button and it just kind of ignores you.
Ready to liberate.
Oh, God. And see, those bile spewers, a single hit from those things can take you down. This is my last one unless I don't die for the next 2 minutes. So probably my last one. Come on. Orbital strike. Come on, do. No. There we go.
Mag's empty!
Oh, yes.
I'm out.
Excellent. Get the other one. Come on. There we go.
Sending down support weapon.
Jeez Louise. That spitter. Is that the one I thought I killed earlier? Oh god. There's so many. Precision strike. There we go. I so rarely get those to come down correctly. Oh god, there's another one.
Eagle 1 armed and ready.
Okay, let's see. Ah. Okay, well I can call in an Eagle Strike, but really I'd prefer to put some samples. Samples allow you to upgrade your ship's modules. Oh, there we go. Oh, crap. The rockets are right in the middle of a new bug breach. That got some of them. Oh, there's the bile spitter. Excellent. I got one more life. There you are. Oh god, there's another one. Okay, let's see where. There it is. Ah.
Deploying replacement. Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Okay. 61 more kills. Let's do it.
Joining the fray.
Oh god. Oh god. I'm gonna kill myself. Oh. Stop with the airburst strike. There we go.
5 minutes remaining. I repeat, 5 minutes remaining.
Come on, stim. Oh, damn. Oh. Well, there you go. That's what happens when you go into one of those without any additional support. And when you're perhaps not quite skilled enough. Disgraceful conduct. Come on, I tried. You get more lives when you have more people on the ship. So, or more people down on the ground. So why don't we start the next one and see if we can't
Helldiver, the Super Destroyer is ready for your next mission.
This should only take another 30 minutes at most, so... Oh no. I guess I don't get to do that one because I didn't complete the mission
Allied
properly?
destroyer coordinates received.
Okay, can't join that one. Can I join? Nope. Can I join this one? So basically, every person gets 5 lives. So if you're in a group with 4 people, you get 20 lives. And anybody can use those lives. And of course, see, right there. That's the problem with too many people playing this game
Allied
already.
destroyer coordinates received.
Okay. We're going to start another one. I'm going to drop the difficulty to medium to make it less likely that I die immediately.
Mission coordinates locked.
And we'll see if anybody else joins us.
Hellpods prime.
I love how we actually travel there too.
Engaging orbital thrusters.
Okay.
Orbit synchronized.
I'm going to go for the secondary objective first. Let's see. There we go. Wait, is that the right? Yeah, I think that's right.
Hellpod launch initiated.
I didn't do the additional grenades thing. So yeah, they allow you to use SOS beacons like they say there, but all that does is actually push you further up in the queue for people to join your mission, but I've never had anybody join one after using an SOS beacon. I've used an SOS beacon 3 times, so I could, you know, it's 3 times is not really like a representative sample if you do like a realistic survey, but just off anecdotal evidence, I've had bad experiences with SOS beacons. Not so much to say bad, but negligible returns on that. Oh. Oh god. No! No! They just called for an opening of a breach. That's what that... Anytime you see one of them shooting up yellow, or orange, I think. It's the same thing with the automatons. They'll shoot a flare into the air, and that's when you know that there's going to be a dropship. But this is a little bit more interesting of a mission because you're actually... Oh god, I gotta get away from that. I was a little too close there. This, you got more of an objective than just kill all the enemies. You actually have multiple objectives here. The primary objective of which... what even is... Oh, launch codes to launch an ICBM, that's right. The primary objective is that, but there's also the ability to do things like this, blow up an illegal broadcast, and then beyond that there are specific little bug nests that you can go take a look at as well.
Meters.
Man, was there no ammunition back here at all? Maybe I just didn't see it. But I'm already down to my last 2 mags, and it doesn't help that, again, I did not do the full utilization of space in the pod, so... Okay. So yeah, this is a bug nest. You gotta seal those holes. To get to those holes, we have to... Oh, jeez. Calling those. These little yellow things on the ground with spikes, those are basically landmines.
Orbital strike incoming.
There we go. That took care of them. Alright. You'd think that would destroy the weapons, but luckily no. Okay, let's try an SOS beacon, see if anybody will join the group.
Sending out an SOS!
And let's also get a resupply.
Sending down equipment package.
Bug outpost spotted. Prepare to exterminate.
Let me see if I have to... I think you can just... It's just... All this is... This is Helldivers 2. Jamie Monoxide, welcome to the stream. Whoa. Okay, well that's the first time I've seen that. That's a new bug. Either that or one I just haven't seen. Okay. Samples. Oh, jeez.
Throwing grenade!
The grenades have full physics to them where if they collide with an enemy, they will bounce off that enemy and you will not close the bug hole properly, so... Oh, that is too low. Let's try again.
Mag's empty!
Oh! Okay. I didn't know this thing was right behind me. That's the problem there. Let's see if we can... Ah! It's dropping me too far away to drop on top of that thing.
Point me to the enemy.
Okay.
Mag's empty!
What are they attacking over there?
Mag's empty!
I honestly don't know what's going on. There we go. So yeah, you don't have to blow those things up with, Seriously, what are they attacking? I actually want to know. You don't have to blow those things up with the heavy weapons, but I typically do, just because it's, a quicker way. I did not know what's going on with that. Okay. That is annoying. Let's go.
Tagging map. East.
Oh, jeez.
300 meters.
Oh, come on.
Mag's empty.
Are there something behind me as well? Oh, I stepped on a mine. That's what happened.
Mag's empty.
You blow those things' heads off, and sometimes they keep coming at you. I mean, they are bugs. I've seen that. You can take the head off of a roach, and it'll keep coming. Okay. How long until I can call down another supply? 45 seconds. I'm gonna definitely need that, because I am running low on ammunition here.
Last reload.
That's the great thing about the game, too, is that you don't actually have to use... communications, like you don't have to actually say anything to anybody to really communicate a lot of things. First of all, you can mark things on the map. Let's do that real quick. Yeah, I marked that. But along with that, like the character just said right there, when I reached my last reload, it actually says it. So it's not something where even it's just like, because you'll say it if you keep shooting when you don't have any ammunition left. They basically say like you have to change, you have to get a new mag. And then when you actually run down to your last magazine, it'll tell everybody else that, so they know that you are low on supplies. And along with that, there's the ability to carry supply packs on your back, so you can hand people supplies as you're playing. Okay, how close are we actually? Pretty close. In fact, I could probably... Oops. Try that. And we'll see if that hits the right spot.
Delivering payload.
Probably not, but sounds like it killed something. Oh.
Eagle 1, trying to rearm.
Mag's empty. Mag's empty!
Oh my. Okay.
Firing orbital strike.
That do it? That cover the most of it, at least. Okay. Uh-oh. What was that? Oh. They have patrols, so it's not just the nests and the objectives you're going after. They also will just be out wandering the wilds. That should do it. Yep. Okay. That got that. Let's grab some more ammo. And I'd actually... I don't know if how close that resupply is. Let's go... yeah, let's go up here.
Dropping a pin, northeast.
The truth of the matter is that I'm going to have to go to this northwest objective before I can go to the final objective here to launch the ICBM, but there's a lot of nests over here, so let's take some of these out. The other one thing that I would like to see in this game is a faster way to traverse areas, like when you're not in combat. Oh, I can't open this either. That's an annoying thing. This is a 2-button door, which if there was somebody else here, they could press the button. I wonder if I can...
Super Earth's finest, back in action.
Oh, no. No! Oh, thank God. Okay, I've been bugged onto those doors before, to where I'll be stuck and I cannot leave them behind after the door is opened. So I was not thinking about that in terms of how it could be a problem where like I'd have to wait for a second person that would never show up, but luckily that did not end up being a problem, so. There we go. Yeah, it's the same thing with Starfield. Like, when I'm out surveying a planet, and the, like, little herds of creatures are, like, miles apart, give me a vehicle to get between them.
50 meters.
I see you back there. Let's see what we got here. Another Eagle Run. Should help with this. I love these things. And they give them to you enough to where it's like actually a useful bit of strategy, and not just like, oh crap, I'm about to die. Let me try this last-ditch effort. They're like an actual part of your strategy.
Get some! Get some!
Yeah.
Mag's empty.
Okay. Well, this nest is already taken care of. Let's head over to this nest now.
Northwest.
Actually, hell,
Far.
Yeah, so I'll do that. Okay. It's going to be a little bit of zigzagging, which again would help to have a vehicle for this kind of stuff, but it is what it is. Let's check this little out. Oh, what the hell? Oh, looks like there's some sort of weird fungus that erupts. So these little outposts you can find
here.
Oh, what do we got here? Oh, it's just a minor point of interest. I saw the smoke coming out the back, and I didn't know if there was maybe some sort of interesting nest or something here, but no, it's just burning tires.
Mission at 30 minutes remaining.
Okay, a couple of samples, hopefully. Yep. Alright. The other things you can occasionally find there are stuff like special weapons. You can find little commendation medals you can pick up. Credits that you can use in the credit store, so always a good thing to check those little secondary sites. This is one of the prettier planets I've been on. A lot of the time they're just like caked in ice, deserts, stuff like that, so... another door that I would need another person to open. It'd be kind of neat if they would allow you to bring along like some sort of AI companion when you can't get other people to join the game.
Mag's empty!
Ah, crap.
Firing orbital strike.
is crossover currently between the PlayStation and the PC. Is that... there going to be more? Probably going to be more, because the thing... Yep, now it's closed. Okay. Which is great. I'm glad they did a crossover capacity there, because otherwise... like, from what I've seen, the majority of the people playing are playing on PC, so it would not be a good situation for people on the PlayStation. Oh, Lord. Oh, God, what the... Whoa! I don't know if I just missed him, but I feel like that thing just spawned additional creatures.
Democracy has landed.
Okay, let's see here. Let's, jeez, please. Okay. I'm just gonna need something more quick than that. Oh! I think my support weapons just damaged at least one of the enemies.
How'd you like the taste of freedom?
Ah, that thing survived. Try a grenade or two. That did it. Okay. Pick up a heavy weapon. Whoa. What on... okay, that's just what I was hearing. I dropped my samples. I can hear the sample pack making some noise. God, I love that little SMG. There's my sample pack and my last rocket launcher there. This is weirdly cloudy. Okay. Ah, okay. Very close to the nest I was looking for. I think I've... oh, actually I've got... oh, I picked the wrong bombardment. This is an okay bombardment. I have an excellent bombardment. Let's see what that does, though.
Firing orbital barrage. Not
quite on the target I was hoping to get it on, but it's close enough. I should have moved over this way and thrown it in the middle. Oh! Direct hit on that big one. There are different types of weapons. When we get back to the ship, I'll open that up. I've definitely seen at least like an electrical arc weapon, I believe. Let's see. And in terms of like orbital strikes, the most effective one I've seen so far is like a giant laser that shoots down from the sky and basically hunts for targets.
Tagging map. East,
okay,
100
meters. Still something alive. Oh! Uh-oh, they're calling in another one. 12 seconds left on that, so I'll use this. I prefer the Eagle. The Eagle is amazing, but...
Liberty returns, locked and loaded.
Oh! Okay. I need more ammo. Let's head up to this side over here, and that should be a good spot to call down a reload beacon. Resupply beacon, I should say. And let's take a look at the map. So there's still one more spot
Dropping
to hit.
a pin. East, 300 meters.
Ah, launch codes. So yeah, there's little,
Mission progress log.
the screen is full, is frozen on one final message, hold. There are little lore bits in here and there, but they're really more so like situational things rather than like the Federation of Super Earth was founded in 2435 or something like that. SEAF communications device. Due to exceptional hazard in the current posting, all SEAF soldiers and their approved domestic family units will be granted Class C citizenship following the mission completion or death. Wait, so they'll be granted citizenship after death. Yeah. The hell? Those giant mosquitoes are throwing me for a loop. I keep thinking I'm seeing like a very small bug coming at me. Here's a patrol.
Mag's empty!
Uh-oh. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So it was one of those things where it's like the last one you don't get is the one that calls in the breach. Really enjoyed history. Oh, that's neat. I'm glad to see more people writing more Fallout stuff. Welcome to the stream, Jacob Keys. I'm really enjoying Helldivers. Both fighting bugs and fighting the automatons, a lot of fun. The automatons are definitely scarier to me than the bugs. Again, because they, as I said earlier, they shoot back at you. These bugs will spit at you, but it's mostly a melee affair here. But that's not to say that the automatons don't also have melee. They have giant Terminator robots with with what's it called? Chainsaw arms that come running straight for you. That to go along with the guys that are just shooting at you with normal rifles and rockets constantly. But I generally think there are more bugs usually. So it's a quantity versus quality sort of a situation. Okay. Let's call down this barrage again. Again, I wish I'd brought my 120 or my 240 barrage instead of the 120, but it is what it is.
Orbital barrage. Clear the area.
Anything that tries to escape, I will shoot. There we go. And along with that, let's... Oh, hello. Call in an Eagle airstrike.
Have a taste of democracy!
Delivering payload.
There we go. That took care of that. Now that the barrage is done, let's go check it for samples. Okay, got some ammunition. Oh, there we go, samples. 10 of the potential 22, but nope, given that it's just me, I'm gonna go with just like manage to find hunting. Oh, jeez.
I'm out!
Oh, it's still alive. Oh, and they just called in a breach. Okay, there we go. Enemies have weak spots, by the way. Some of these enemies, you shoot at their fronts, nothing happens. You gotta make sure you hit them on the side.
Main objective nearby.
Yeah, you can get Helldivers on the PC. That's what I'm currently playing it on. But yeah, it'd be great if it did come to Xbox. I'm all for more people playing games. Ah, crap. Okay, expendable anti-tank weapons. The nice thing about the expendable anti-tank weapons is you can bring those things down constantly, basically. Ah, hell. Again, if those things hit you just right, it's basically a one-hit kill.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Brought me down too far to make a difference. Like to actually drop directly on top of that thing, so. Is it attacking my old body? I don't understand what's exactly happening here. I saw it doing this before. There we go. Ah! Not sure what that was all about. Yeah, like, I would love to play, in terms of like games being divided among systems, I would love to play Ghost of Tsushima, but I do not have a PlayStation 5, nor do I have any plan to get one at any point soon. Okay. Starting the ICBM launch now that we have the launch codes. So, there we go. First part set. Now we use the launch code we got. One of my most popular videos is a launch code decryption video. There we go. Okay, so we gotta go unleash the locks. Well, and even if they would just put Ghost of Tsushima on the PC, because like they've put God of War on there, they put Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh, got a breach.
Mag's empty.
Multiple breaches. Okay.
Eagle back in the fight. Firing orbital strike.
Mag's empty.
Okay, that's good. We can unleash the final 2 locks and launch this ICBM. Okay. Okay. Let's call down some supplies because I'm sure I'm going to need them. And some additional expendable anti-tank things. Let's reload the guns. Now I got ammo coming in.
Last reload.
Oh yeah, I can also heal myself a little bit. I see a few bugs off to the northeast, but they don't seem to have noticed me, so I'm gonna leave them alone for the moment. Okay, gotta get to C2. Calculating missile trajectory. Carrying this thing further. Typically on harder difficulties, because again this is just medium, because I died on the last one trying to do it on challenging. On higher difficulties you'll typically have more interruptions to attempting to do this sort of event, where there'll be more swarms of bugs coming towards you. Uh-oh.
I'm out.
There we go. Let's do this thing. Launch this bomb. 10 seconds to launch. Oh, there's a breach.
Mag's empty.
I don't think it's probably a good idea to do an orbital strike right next to a nuke launch, but I could be wrong. Okay. So that bomb should be going towards this destination.
Tagging map.
Time to
Northwest.
extract.
300 meters.
Oh, there goes the nuke. Oh boy, spores. Yeah, the Game Pass is great. It's one of those amazing things that doesn't seem like it should make any financial sense, but they're doing it. So it's the same thing with Epic, releasing free games every week, and I'm always just like, how is this financially viable? Ah, crap! There's a big gash on the earth. Can I maybe climb out of it on that side over there? That looks like a no-go. Gotta look for another way around. Okay. This may have been a bad idea. Let's not try to take a shortcut that could end up being stuck in a hole. Okay.
Mag's empty.
Only one bug left. It's a spitter, little one. And we're good. Nobody called in for a breach. So, you notice the timer at the top right. That doesn't actually mean until the mission ends. That means until support is dropped. And so after 13 minutes and 49 additional seconds, if I were still in this part of the world, I would no longer be able to call down orbital strikes, call down additional weapons, all that kind of stuff. So that's all that means. What that also does is as soon as you reach that countdown timer, it calls in additional, calls in your extraction shuttle. So basically it's like run there as fast as you can, sort of a thing. I don't understand what you just meant there, so sorry about that. But ah, okay. I'm also wearing heavier armor. This isn't heavy armor, but it is medium, which means my stamina runs through pretty quickly. Okay. Let's see here. All right, calling down the the Pelican, which shares a name with Halo.
Extraction request confirmed.
2 minutes. Let's call in some additional support.
Deploying support weapon. Deploying equipment package.
PC is definitely the best way to go. Especially now that Microsoft releases everything that it puts on the Xbox on the PC as well. Airstrike coming in. But of course, PC is also the priciest option. So it's understandable to me that people still go for the Xbox. Oh, Lord.
How'd you like the taste of freedom?
Oh, 15 kills with that last little shot.
Eagle 1 rearming. Be back shortly.
Oh, crap.
T-minus 1 minute.
Oh, I need... Oh. Jeez, it is bleeding. There we go.
Sweet liberty!
Oh, I missed. Oh, God. There we go. Oh. Probably not going to get anything serious coming in now that we're in the last 30 seconds, but... Oh, I was wrong. Okay. Hey, guys. Have a grenade. Stem, man, stem. And get up and run. Oh. Yeah, I thought that was the end right there.
Arriving at coordinates.
Uh-oh.
This is Pelican 1, preparing for touchdown.
Oh, jeez. Okay, let's get out of here.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
Liberty has seen you through.
Ah, we missed one of the secondary objectives. That's an artillery cannon you can get, and it's actually gives you additional things you can throw at the enemy. It fires mini nukes. Alright, so yeah, again, let's take a look at the weapons real quick, because you were asking earlier if there were things other than just kinetic weapons. We'll take a look at what's available in the armory, and all that. So normally if you're playing with other people, there'd be like 4 people on this platform, each one doing their own special little victory emote. So...
You secured a lot of samples.
So,
well done.
over here, let's see, stratagems. You can call down flamethrower, railgun, and this looks like a javelin. They call it a spear here, but it's like a rocket that looks like it launches up and then hits a target going down. Yeah, so most of it is just kinetic weapons, but again, yeah, they do have a flamethrower. Okay, and then in orbital cannons, you can order down a rail cannon, which fires at the strongest thing. Laser, which again, this is the best thing I've seen so far. It just tracks targets and goes after them. Walking barrage, which hits along a line, so you can move through the barrage going forward, following it. The Eagle can bring down cluster bombs, napalm strikes. You can drop in a jump pack. Smoke strike, I don't know exactly how useful that is. It looks like it probably helps when you're fighting ranged enemies. Rocket pods, and then the 500 kilogram bomb. And then let's see, gas strike, EMS strike. So there's your non-kinetic weapons right there. EMS, shouldn't there be? I don't know, I was expecting EMP, but anyway, let's see. Orbital smoke strike, so similar to before, smoke. You can drop in gun placements that you can fire from, shield generators to stop ranged fire from coming in, Tesla towers that take out enemies. You can actually have these things hit you as well, though. That's the thing, there's a lot of friendly fire in this game, so you actually have to crawl when you're near this thing not to be hit. Engineering bay had the minefields, I already showed you those. Supply packs, you can hand people additional ammunition, grenade launcher. Not sure why this is in this area instead of in like the heavy weapon section. Let's see, laser cannon. I've seen people use this. This is pretty good. Guard dog rover is good, but the friendly fire on this thing is just like constant, is what I've noticed. So you got to be really careful around them. Ballistic shield. I've not actually seen anybody use one of these. It looks pretty interesting. Arc thrower. There's another non-kinetic weapon. Shield generator pack. I've seen people use these. They're pretty useful. Especially with errant fire, like I've accidentally hit people before many times, and this will, you know, generally keep them from being hit by your rounds, which is a good thing. So, autocannon sentry, that thing is excellent. Rocket sentry, I've not seen one of these in game yet, but that looks good. EMS mortar strike, again, I'm not sure what the EMS is standing for here. Static field, okay. I guess that holds things in place. That's a pretty good thing. If you could use that in combination with orbital strikes. And the Patriot exosuit was just added to the game with the liberation of Tien Quan, I think was the name of the planet. Basically, the whole thing was the automatons are taking this planet. We got to get it back. And then ship modules. Talked a little bit about this before, but again, things like decreases the cooldown on these things. Decreases the cooldown on, again. Exploding shrapnel. Okay, so reduces the damage fall off from the center of explosions. That's pretty good. More guns. I'll have to look into these things a little bit more. And you can see the cost of these things up here. Well, actually, these are your resources here. But so something like, where we go? Here. This, you can see the price down here. Takes 80 of the common, 80 of the rare, and 10 of the like exotic ones. Targeting software upgrade. Deployment time of the orbital stratagems reduced. Increases enemy ping on your mini map. That's good. Power steering and improves the steering for the Helldivers. I would love to have that. So that's the great thing, is like they've got all these different things, and the way to unlock them is just by playing the game more. There's not a way to unlock these things with cash. Cash is absolutely something you can use. Again, let's go to acquisitions. Again, in the superstore, you can buy these things, but it's on a running cycle here, and so you can buy these super credits and buy these things there where they do actually add a little bit of additional benefit each one of them, but it's not something where it's like a game-changing thing. Plus, there's no PvP; it's all PvE, so you're just becoming more helpful to yourself and to your friends. And then there's also this Steeled Veterans thing, which I don't know exactly if you have to have the Super Citizen Pack or something like that in order to buy these things, but it does say you have to have some sort of premium thing to buy stuff in this section. So there's that. But again, most of this stuff is cosmetic, but I can show you real quick, if you go to the armory, that the armor actually does have different boosts to it. So there's light armor. I was wearing this for a long time because it created like little radar scans all over the place, which is pretty cool. But you can see your armor rating 70, speed 530, stamina regen 115 versus this one, where my speed and stamina are lower, but the armor rating is 30 points higher. So it's a trade-off. And the same thing with like heavy armor here. 150 points of armor rating, but you have significantly reduced stamina regeneration and speed. So good stuff there. Anyway, though, I think that'll probably do it for this time. So again, just real quick announcements. Still working on the channel website. I'm probably going to try to do that like an hour a day if I get the time for it. Along with that, I'm going to get that Starfield lore video out sometime this next week, and I'm going to immediately start work on the next lore video, which I think is supposed to be in Fallout 76. Okay, so the question is, do I need to do 2 videos at once? And I think the answer to that is probably yes. So what I'll probably end up doing is I'll work on the Fallout 76 Surveil video covering... sorry, let me get to your thing here in just a second. I'll work on the Fallout 76 Surveil video covering part of Atlantic City, but at the same time, because that's the thing I got to do over the course of multiple days, where I'm just investigating this stuff, I will also work on the Novak lore video for Fallout New Vegas at the same time. So there are levels, and so like if I come over here, we take a look at ship management. If we go to stratagems here, you can see that some of these are locked to a higher level. In fact, all of them are locked to different levels. At the very beginning, I think you can get like the machine gun and maybe the anti-material rifle, but you can't even get the option to try to buy these things until you reach certain levels. Currently, what I'm really looking forward to is the orbital laser here, because this thing is excellent, but you have to be level 15 to get it. The way you unlock that is with experience, then the actual like ship upgrades and stuff. The stratagems are unlocked via cash. Well, not really. Whatever this is supposed to be, the R thing. And then again, the ship modules are accessed via these resources that you collect. So, and also along with that, so it's not really level, but based on the amount of experience, the amount of time you spend playing the game is basically how deep you're going to get into this tree. So you start off with level 1, and stuff in here is like 1 credit, 2 credits, and by credits I mean medals, and you get those permission. But you look at this, and there's 10 layers, and by the time you get all the way down here, it's 150 to unlock the increased reinforcement budget. So you can see that it's like a massive amount of time you're going to have to spend in the game to really get to this kind of stuff. But again, as far as I can tell, there's no way to actually like buy this stuff with real world money, which is excellent. So, oh yeah, the annoying thing that will occasionally happen is when you get into a mission and people want to rush through the whole thing, get through the main objectives, and just leave, and it's like you're missing out on all kinds of like the requisition credits, experience, and resources that come with hitting these other sites. You got to hit the other sites if you're going to get the resources. So all that stuff to keep in mind. So any questions anybody has? Anything about the game? Anything about upcoming lore videos and that kind of stuff? I'll wait for another 30 seconds or so before moving towards the closeout here. Yeah, it's a lot better when you play with friends, because you can really make sure that you're with people that will want to do this kind of stuff. Thank you very much. Have a good night, y'all. Have a good weekend, and I will see you all next Friday. Again, the Starfield lore video will definitely be out by then, and I'll be working on the 76 video and the Novak video. So, until then, I hope you all have a good weekend. Good night and a good weekend. Bye, y'all.